we're about ready to fill our casks. Well, what do I mean by casks? We've got 6 barrels here, 3 large, 3 small. Here's one of the small ones, 1 liter. These are 3 liters. And what they are is wooden oak, American oak barrels, white oak, and they are charred on the inside with a number 4 char on them. They come like this. We had to put the taps in. They come with these. And we'll put this little capper on the top when we fill it up. What we did is, after we got them, we rinsed out all of the charred bits that are inside it. Did that last night. They've dried today all day. They now smell wonderful and charred. It's amazing. And we're about to fill them up with these various spirits here. And you're going to see that in a second. So here we go. All right, here's what we're going to fill up our barrels with. We've got large and we've got small. And what I'm going to do is, as I've done with this one, wood burn into it what the date is, 3/13/21 in this case. We're going to put cider into this one. So let's do that right now. Here we go. We've got our funnel already set. We're going to take our cider here. This is half gallon, so this is more than enough. This is about 2 liters, and this thing is only going to hold 1 liter or so. So I guess what I'll do is, it's going to be kind of hard to do while I'm on film here, but you're going to do it, right? All right, we've rinsed out the funnel. We've rinsed out this. The tapper is shut, and here we go. Cider's going in to the barrel. There's only one way for air to escape, so you can see it's kind of bubbling down there, and you can hear the noise. But this cider should be aged in oak, and within a couple weeks we'll be able to tap this and taste the delicious wood-aged cider. The rest of the products we're going to put in the other barrels are all alcohol-based. We're going to throw a little moonshine into this cider here so that it preserves it, and we're going to do that right after we cut the film here. So see you in a second. All right, so we just got this almost full of cider. We're going to put a little moonshine in here to add a little alcohol to preserve it, because of course we're not going to chill the cask. It's March 13th, 2021, and so we'll be able to sample this. What's great about these barrels is you can come take a shot glass and sample one with a little sip to see how it's going, if it's aged enough or if it still needs a little more time. Obviously the bigger barrels need more time because they have less surface area per volume of liquid that's inside, but these smaller barrels actually will age something very, very quickly. So we're going to put a little moonshine in here and top it off. That should keep it so that it does not spoil. The cider will not spoil in there like that. And of course the rest of our beverages that we will be putting into these casks all have alcohol on them. We're going to do some White Dog wheated mash. This is what you would typically see that becomes wheated bourbon after aging a year or so in a barrel, and we are aging very quickly with ours. There's moonshine that we're already using here. Peach moonshine. We have white rum, my favorite Pilar white rum. We're going to age that in the large, and then we're going to age some port wine, which we don't have yet. It's arriving later today. We're going to put that in. So that's our 6 casks, and we'll update you on every couple weeks. We'll sample how each one tastes, and then you'll be able to see what the aging profile is and the finishing profile for each of these. The other great thing about these barrels is, say we age a port in one of these small ones, which we will do, you can then reuse that barrel that's now seasoned with port to finish a bourbon in. So let's say you empty it out, you drink your port, you now take bourbon or White Dog, that will become bourbon, and age it in a port cask, and it will now not only absorb the oak, but it will absorb the flavor of the port from the cask. So you've got port finished bourbon at that point. We can also put some maple syrup in one of these, age that, enjoy your pancakes. Once you're done with that, you then put your bourbon in there, or your White Dog, and let it become maple finished bourbon. So we're looking forward to all that. We'll update you as things go. I am going to, as I've done with this one, I'm going to burn into the cask what's in there and the date. And then we'll keep doing that because we have a lot of areas. As we reuse each barrel, we'll be able to log what this barrel has been used for, so we know the profile of the barrel. Thanks. Okay, it's March 13th, 2021. The reason we're in our garage right now is because we are planning to age these in a number of different settings, and the climate change actually is supposed to be good for the aging as the barrels expand and contract and absorb and release the fluid that's in them. So you actually want to age them in a place where the temperature is not always the same. So that's why we're doing it out here in the garage. It's not the most glamorous of settings, but it is good for the aging process. What am I doing right now? Well, I'm taking our White Dog. And White Dog basically just means it is bourbon yet to be aged. So you might say, well, it's not bourbon, it's clear. Well, it is bourbon. It's, in this case, it's corn, wheat, and barley. Buffalo Trace makes several different mashes of White Dog. This happens to be the one they call the wheated mash. They also have mash number 1, which is a different profile. This is 57% alcohol, so it's a bit strong. So what that means is we're going to age it like this, and then when it comes out, we're going to add some water to it, as they do in most situations, and that will bring the proof down to about 40. We'll make sure to proportionalize that. So anyway, here we go. We're going to put some of this in here. These White Dogs are sold in half bottles, so this is only half a standard size bottle. That's why I had to buy 3 of them. All right, we're going to pour these in, and we'll get back to you another time. Hi, we're back. We're about ready to fill one of the big ones. That's the big 3-liter one. And one thing that you need to know about these barrels is when you get them, the staves are the planks of wood that go along the side. The staves are not fully sealed up. So what they recommend that you do, which we did, is fill each barrel up with water once you rinse it out, let it sit overnight for multiple hours, almost a day, and then the whole thing will swell up, and that's what seals all the gaps between the staves and the 2 ends of the barrel. So they're watertight now. We know that because when we got down to the sink this morning, the sink was bone dry after these things all swelled up. So that's one thing that you do need to know before you do it. So what are we going to do now? We're going to fill up one of these 3 liters with moonshine. This is corn whiskey, and it is, unlike the White Dog, this is 40 proof, so this doesn't need to be watered down after we get it out of the cask. This should be great. This is pretty high quality moonshine as it is, and it's already triple distilled, so a couple months in this, we'll sample it every couple weeks to see how dark and woody it's getting. A couple of months in this, it should be great. It should be like a high quality bourbon that's been aged at least a year. And if you leave it in a whole year, it's like it's aged for 6 years or so. So that's what we got going. We're going to put some peach moonshine, which is one of our favorites, into another one. And we're going to put some white rum into the 3rd one. So see you in a couple months. All right. Well, here's the finished product. We have gotten all our spirits into the casks for aging, and I have even burned in the date and what is in each cask so you can see that, and so now they're there. I've turned this one here upside down a little bit because I noticed it was still leaking a little bit right around here at the bottom, and so as the liquid is absorbed into the wood, this should swell up and then that leak will stop. But it's good to rotate these anyway because that way they get exposed to the maximum amount of wood for the aging process and for the finishing process. So we're going to rotate them periodically anyway, but we'll check back with you in a few months and see how the tasting goes. Bye-bye.